Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news. Now I want you to picture the scene. The NFL landscape is always shifting, teams making bold moves, players looking for new homes, and the Atlanta Falcons, a team that's been on the rise, is right in the middle of this whirlwind. The buzz this week isn't just about the usual off-season chatter. It's about potential game changers that could redefine the Falcons' future. And if you're a Falcons devotee, you know how crucial every off-season move is. It's about setting the foundation for a potential Super Bowl run, about making smart, strategic decisions that elevate the team from good to great. So, what's really going on? Well, for starters, let's talk about the big picture. The Falcons have been investing heavily along their defensive line this offseason, bringing in veterans like Leonard Floyd and Morgan Fox to bolster their pass rush. Now on paper, that looks promising, right? But if you're a seasoned Falcons fan, you've probably noticed that the PFF rankings still place this unit near the bottom of the league. That's a concern, especially when you consider the importance of pass rush in today's NFL game. Teams that can rush the quarterback consistently are usually the ones contending deep into the playoffs. And right now, the Falcons are looking for that extra edge. This is where the news gets really interesting. Despite the additions of Floyd and Fox, many analysts believe the Falcons haven't improved enough in their pass rush department. It's an ongoing puzzle. How do you turn a decent line into a dominant one? Well, one name keeps popping up as a potential game changer, Trey Hendrickson. Yeah, that's right. Hendrickson, the Bengals' star edge rusher, is currently in a situation that's making waves in NFL circles. And if the Falcons can get him, oh boy, it could be a massive boost. Now, let's pause here for just a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. Hendrickson, as you probably know, has been one of the league's most productive pass rushers over the last couple of seasons, racking up an incredible 35 sacks combined over the past 2 years. That's an average of nearly 18 sacks per season, which is absolutely elite. The Falcons, on the other hand, managed to record only 31 sacks as a team last year. That's not just a small gap, it's a significant one, especially considering the Falcons haven't seen a player reach double-digit sacks in nearly a decade. This is a team that's been hungry for that disruptive pass rusher to anchor their defense and take it to the next level. And Hendrickson? Well, he's exactly that kind of player. He's a proven force on the edge, someone who can turn the tide of a game with a single sack, and he's currently in a situation where he could be available. The Bengals, although they've been competitive, are still trying to figure out how to structure his contract and whether they should keep him or let him go. There's a lot of speculation about this, but the bottom line is that Hendrickson is on the trade block, and the Falcons should definitely be paying close attention. Now, here's what makes this situation even more interesting. Hendrickson, who has been a top-tier pass rusher, is currently listed at number 3 on the Bengals' depth chart. That's a clear indication that he's not the unquestioned leader on that line anymore. Joseph Oss and Cam Sample are ahead of him, which suggests that the Bengals might be moving in a different direction if they can find the right deal. And that's where the Falcons come in. If they make a move now, they could potentially land Hendrickson at a bargain, especially considering his proven production and the fact that he's still in his prime. Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio has commented on this situation, indicating that the Bengals probably aren't thrilled with Hendrickson's hold-in situation. That's the term used when a player shows up to camp but refuses to practice, often waiting for a new contract or a trade. Florio points out that the Bengals aren't exactly giving him the respect he deserves on the depth chart, which could be a sign that they're open to negotiations. And for the Falcons, this is a golden opportunity. Imagine adding a player like Hendrickson to a defense that already has some promising pieces. His presence could elevate the entire pass rush, creating more pressure on opposing quarterbacks and giving the secondary a much-needed boost. What makes Hendrickson even more appealing is his production. Over the last 2 seasons, he's been a sack machine. 17.5 sacks in each of those seasons, which is remarkable. Think about it, adding that kind of talent to a Falcons team that only managed 31 sacks last year. That's almost a 50% increase in sacks from just one player. It's the kind of upgrade that could transform Atlanta from a decent defense into a feared unit. And let's not forget, his presence would also help open opportunities for other pass rushers on the team, creating a domino effect that could lead to even more sacks and turnovers. Of course, nothing is guaranteed. The deal depends on the structure of the contract, the guarantees, and whether the Bengals and Hendrickson can agree on terms. There's also the question of whether the Bengals are willing to trade him before the season starts, or if they want to hold on to him until they resolve his contract situation. But the opportunity is there, and if the Falcons act quickly, they could be the ones to land him. Now, beyond Hendrickson, there are other interesting trade options that have been floating around. For example, some analysts have mentioned players like Kayvon Thibodeaux from the Giants, or even a young quarterback like Will Levis from the Titans. But those moves are more complicated and would likely require significant assets. Hendrickson, on the other hand, seems like a more realistic target given his current situation and proven production. Plus, he fits the Falcons' immediate needs perfectly. And speaking of needs, the Falcons are also eyeing their offensive side of the ball. The recent rumors involve their tight end, Kyle Pitts. There's talk that the team might be looking to move him, especially with the draft pick they used on Colston Loveland, signaling perhaps that Pitt's days in Atlanta are numbered. Freestone from Fansided pointed out that the Falcons need to find a replacement because Pitts might not be part of their future plans. So, it's a strategic move for Atlanta, adding a player like Hendrickson to bolster their defense while also considering options to reshape their offensive weapons. And if you think about the broader picture, Atlanta's front office is clearly trying to build a team capable of competing at a high level. The addition of Hendrickson could be the final piece that pushes their defense into the top tier, especially as they look to make a playoff push this season. The NFC South is no longer a pushover. Teams like the Saints and Buccaneers are always lurking, ready to pounce. So, Atlanta needs to be proactive, and if Hendrickson is available, they should be all in. Looking ahead, the start of the regular season is just around the corner, and the Falcons will need to make some decisions quickly. The trade window isn't open forever, and timing could be everything. If they manage to land Hendrickson, it would send a clear message that they're serious about contending. His experience, combined with the talent already on the roster, could be the spark the Falcons need to finally break through and make some noise in the playoffs. It's about seizing opportunities when they arise, and right now, Hendrickson's name is at the top of that list. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe the Falcons should go all in and pursue Trey Hendrickson, or do you think they should wait and see how the season unfolds? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. We're on this journey together, and every piece of news gets us closer to understanding what this team is truly capable of in 2024. Whether it's big trades, emerging stars, or strategic moves, I'll be here to keep you informed every step of the way. Thanks for sticking with me, and let's keep the Falcons' spirit alive and strong.